The Nigerian Senate has called on President Bola Tinubu to immediately direct the Nigerian Armed Forces to recruit an additional 100,000 personnel. This urgent move aims to bolster the nation's efforts against the worsening insecurity plaguing the country. The report.
The demand came after Senator Abdullahi Yahaya raised a motion of urgent national importance, highlighting a recent terrorist attack in Kebbi South Senatorial District. In the attack, gunmen invaded a girls' secondary school, abducting 25 students and severely injuring the school's principal. Senator Abdullahi described the incident as a slap on the face of the nation.
Mr. President, I feel deeply hurt. This kind of terrorization of our students, our children, must stop. That's why I call this a slap on the face of this nation. We cannot just allow this kind of situation to continue like that.
Lawmakers expressed outrage over the attack, questioning the effective use of funds meant to secure learning environments.
We must emphasize the issues of religion and ethnicity while dealing with matters of insecurity. If we do not do that, the tendency is that we are falling into the trap of enemies of this country. And we know ourselves, and we know what is going on.
This administration is making a lot of investment in the security sector. I believe that with a lot of money, funds, and resources going into our armed forces, we should be asking for better outcomes. We should be looking at time frames. It shouldn't be an endless war against the insurgents. Can we really afford to fund our armed forces and other security agencies better?
The military don't seem to appreciate the effort of Mr. President every day. He cannot go and fight on his own. Last week, a brigadier general was murdered in ambush and murdered in Borno. That brigade commander, Mr. President, we have to ask the military and the security agents a question. Can we ever win this war? They were kidnapped yesterday or thereabouts. They didn't vanish to the thin air when they were taken away. They were taken away, they're still on the ground, being moved about. So I believe that the security agencies should deploy technology. Even from far places, you can locate these children where they are.
The capture in our prayer that we want additional 100,000 men and women to be recruited and trained and equipped and well kitted in the Nigerian Army to be able to cover the increasing number of population and the fact that we now have more schools than we used to have in 1960, in 1970, in 1980. Every year, our population is growing at 3%, and therefore our armed forces numbers should increase in addition to the deployment of appropriate tracking technology.
It took the parliament like ours to come up and tell this government whether we can appease these terrorists or that we can go after these terrorists. Lives have been lost. Imagine if any one of us has a daughter now in captivity in Kebbi. Will you be sleeping? Is it possible for you to survive when your own daughter is taken? And because these daughters are not ours, we begin to be political and lackadaisical.
Protect our people, to protect our children. That is the primary responsibility of government, the protection of lives and property. The Senate must wade into this matter very effectively and very determined to make a difference. We trust on the leadership of this nation, we trust on the leadership of this Senate that we are going to make a difference and that this war and this insecurity that has plagued this nation for over a decade shall come to an end under this administration.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio called the resurgence of school abductions alarming, recalling the notorious kidnapping of the Chibok girls ahead of the 2015 general elections. He warned that these attacks come at a critical time when the international community is closely monitoring Nigeria's security situation.
We sympathize with the agony. We sympathize with the families for the agony they are passing through. We sympathize with those are young children that are probably in very uncomfortable situation right now, wherever they are taken to. And we urge the, not just relevant committees this time, we urge the armed forces across board, including individuals who may have information, to assist, to do everything to bring those children back, to rejoin their families and to continue their education. We're in sympathy with them because they have been traumatized.
In a mark of respect, the Senate observed a minute of silence to honor the vice principal who lost her life trying to protect students from the terrorists.